Hello, my name is Roberto Jaramillo, and this is my final exam project for EDS 121. So question number 1, describe the following terms. The gut. The gut is a long tube that starts from the mouth and goes all the way to the anus. It is also known as the gastrointestinal tract, which contains the esophagus, stomach, and both the large and small intestines. It is not smooth, which helps in the transportation of food throughout the gut. There's something called villi, or villi, I believe it's villi, in our body that takes the nutrients from the food we eat out of the food so that we can use them, so our body can use them. Food is broken down in our gut and our body recovers the nutrients from the food. The remaining food that has no nutrients is then turned into waste and fermented, which our body then excretes out. Second term, gut microbes. Gut microbes just refers to the small organisms that live within our gut, like bacteria. Our body contains over 100 trillion of bacteria in our gut alone, which is a lot more than the amount of human cells that we have. The third term, gut microbes and what we eat. Our gut microbes get affected by what we consume. For example, if someone consistently ate non-processed foods and then suddenly started eating a lot of fast food, then their gut microbes would shift and change because of the new bacteria that is coming in from the new diet. The bacteria from the old diet is no longer there anymore. So something as simple as changing what you eat can easily affect your gut microbes. This in turn can affect what you eat and even affects when you want to eat. Fourth term, gut microbes therapy. First part of this that I'm answering is, what is it? Gut microbes therapy is the process in which an individual consumes something like probiotic. Yogurt is usually associated with this, but it's usually just some sort of drink or beverage that one consumes to change their gut microbes. Or a prebiotic, which is just food. Food, it could even be something like toothpaste, mentioned in the video. And this is done to try to change the microbes in someone's body for the better. Another form of gut microbes therapy is receiving a transplant from someone else. You take the stool sample, is turned into like some sort of pill or something, you consume it, and then your gut microbes change to theirs. Should be noted that who you receive this stool sample from um, can affect your health. If someone who is overweight gave you their stool sample, then you in turn will likely become overweight yourself. So then, how is this therapeutic? It's therapeutic because this is done to treat your gut microbe. People do, for the yogurt, for example, people eat yogurt to help with weight loss. So, how is it therapeutic? This is therapeutic because these things are only done when someone wants to try to treat their gut microbe for the better. The gut microbes transplant is done for people who are at risk of becoming diabetic. People eat probiotics and prebiotics to try to reduce fat and weight. One research study that is related to gut microbes that is found to affect health is seen with a 32-year-old mother who was suffering from recalcitrant C. difficile infection. She wanted to get a stool sample from her daughter, but it should be noted that her daughter was a bit overweight. She later became obese. After taking the stool sample from her daughter, the 32-year-old mother proceeded to gain weight, and despite her attempts to combat this, she herself became obese, just like her daughter. Question number 2, what is a new thing you learned from this theory that you did not know before? First of all, I've never heard of this theory before in my life. Everything in the video was mostly new to me. The thing that completely caught me off guard was the mention of people consuming other people's stool samples to try to change their own gut microbes. It was also interesting to learn that the donor of the stool sample can seemingly affect the person's body who are they donating to, which I just mentioned recently. Which is why it's important to get the correct donor so that you don't get what they have, whether it be overweight or anything else. Question number 3, what are the specific areas, for example, emotion, mood, or body that get affected by the type of microbes in our guts? Your entire body itself can get affected by the type of microbes you have by making you more likely to gain weight and eventually become obese. Diseases that affect organs have been linked to gut microbes in a person. Some of these organs include the brain, heart, liver, stomach, and even the pancreas. Your gut microbes can also affect your chances of getting arthritis. On top of all the physical stuff, your gut microbes also affect how your brain develops, which in turn affects your behavior. This was seen in the mice where some more timid mice, when given the gut microbes of an adventurous mouse, became an adventurous mouse, and vice versa. Emotions, feelings, and our mood are affected by our gut microbes and what is happening to them. For example, whenever we get nervous, sometimes there is this feeling in our stomach, our gut, that is caused by our gut microbes firing up. There are even possible connections from our gut microbes to autism, as seen in another test done on mice. And our gut microbes also affect when and what we want to eat at any given moment during the day. So, question number 4. How is the type of our bacteria determined at the beginning? Do we get bacteria slash microbes from others or any external activities? And if so, what types of activities or elements cause us to exchange our bacteria? First of all, we get a majority of our bacteria from our mother, and the types of bacteria that we get change depending on the operation done during birth. If it was done in the traditional way, or the vaginal way, then we get a lot of our bacteria from our mother through placenta and whatnot. But if it was a C-section, then we actually end up getting a lot of bacteria from the people in the operating room, mainly skin cells. Some other things that affect the type of bacteria we get when we are born. Some other things that affect the type of bacteria we get are where we are born. For example, if you are born in a hospital or if you're born at home, whether or not we were born early or at the expected time, the type of care needed after birth, normal care or intensive care. The consumption of antibiotics affects this as well. The amount taken, what types of antibiotics we consume, for how long, all change the type of bacteria we have in our gut. Another thing that affects our bacteria is whether or not we drink breast milk or bottled milk. It also matters what types of food we eat, the air we breathe in, the things we touch with our skin, the types of environments we live in. One of the final ways that we acquire bacteria is through the transferring of microbes from other people, through kissing, for example. Question number 5. What types of food is considered effective to increase good bacteria / good microbes in our guts? So I'm listing 5 here. Some foods of note are yogurt, mentioned previously, fruits, vegetables, nuts, whole grain foods, and even seeds are known to be good sources for a healthy gut microbes. Essentially, just avoiding foods that are highly processed or that have saturated fats, fast food, anything like that. If you avoid those and eat more natural things, then you'll have a healthy gut microbe. Question number 6. What is the effect of taking too many antibiotics for too long for our bodies and gut bacteria? And what other things that affect reducing gut back? Question number 6. What is the effect of taking too many antibiotics for too long for our bodies and gut bacteria? And to add on to that, what other things that affect reducing gut bacteria that in turn deteriorate overall health? Antibiotics essentially murder your gut microbes. It may get rid of the thing that is affecting your body negatively, but it also take away a lot of the good bacteria. It's the equivalent of shooting a shotgun in your gut microbe. It gets the bad guy, but it also gets a lot of uh, good guys too. If we take too many antibiotics for extended periods of time, then our body will grow to be resistant to the antibiotics, which makes them useless. Types of food you eat affect the types of bacteria your gut microbes will have. As mentioned previously before, the amount of food you eat, when you eat, also affects the amount of gut microbes you have. Take a snake for example. Their gut microbes are not very diverse when they are fasting because they don't have any food or anything in them to promote a healthy gut microbes. But once they start eating food, then they start getting a diverse gut microbe, which then eventually goes down slowly as they return to fasting. Stress is also a major factor for reducing the amount of gut bacteria you have. If you're constantly or frequently under stress, then you have less gut bacteria. Question number 7. What do you do yourself in order to improve your gut bacteria? And then list 3 things you may want to do. So, me personally, I have not done anything myself to improve my gut bacteria. But I'm going to try to make an effort to do that now. A 1 hour long video is pretty informative. So, some of the things that I'm going to try to do is um, conscious of my food decisions. I'm going to try to steer clear from highly processed foods, chips, fast food, anything like that. I'm going to try to avoid them. And instead of eating things like that, I'm going to try to eat more fruits and vegetables because my current diet doesn't feature those frequently. Occasionally, I have a few vegetables, but I do know I neglect fruits, so I'll try to eat more of those. And I will also pay more close attention to the amount of antibiotics the bottle says I should take. Sometimes I take 1 or 2 more because I believe it'll be more effective, but not knowing that antibiotics um, murder all your gut microbes, I'm going to try to take the recommended amount instead of taking more than the recommended amount. I'm also going to be more aware of how many I take during a day and if I'm taking them for multiple days. That is the final question. There's no more. For watching my final exam project.